Willie Mosconi hated nine ball. He had absolutely no respect for the game, and he was verbal about it. And it's funny how they named the biggest pool tournament of today after Mosconi. He would have bitched about that, man. He would have said no, no, no. But they did. He kind of saw it the way I see a parking app. You know, you're downloading a parking app at 2 o'clock in the morning so the bicycle cops don't come around with their little tickets. Yeah, the times were changing right then and there, and things were getting faster. So, you know, Willie's game was straightforward, and it was a difference between making love and a 5 minute quickie. That's the way he saw it. He despised the nine ball. Straight pull is, well, can be like a really, really precise game to where you have like a speck of dust on the table to get the cue ball. And this is Willie's expertise. It's like he was doing surgery. I'm just being very, very precise with the cue ball. And nine ball, you had this big 9 foot table and just nine balls, and you have the freedom to move the cue ball around in incredible distances. And this is what Willie hated about it. This is one of the things he hated everything about it. So to him, it was. To him, the game was destroying pull. So you had these guys running around the country looking to use nine ball to hustle people and get quick money, real fast money. Just in the doors, get the money, get out. And he said it was ruining pull. I think he overstated that a little bit, but you know, it just wasn't his thing. It kind of took the grace out of the game. He saw it as a low, you know, a game for, you know. And I don't want to act like I know or I knew Willie Mosconi. I didn't. When I was young, I delivered newspapers to his pool. But the guy, I never talked to him, and I was only like 7 years old or something, and I was scared of all these guys. Willie was a true introvert. He didn't talk to anyone unless he had to. And it was real short and quick, and I don't think he liked people. He was, you know, a real grumpy, scary old man to a little 7-year-old kid, and I didn't know what the hell the pool world was anyway. You know, what are we going to talk about? But if you read the true history of Mosconi, you'll see he tried to stop nine ball from ever happening, but you know it was going to happen regardless of what he said. So you'll see me in this game, you know, let my stroke out and just really just kind of go for the graceful, you know, with the real long stroke and the moving the cue ball all around the table. Yeah, like a figure skater or a violinist or like a ballerina, just trying to be that, you know, that flowing thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I get in these moods to where it's just, you know, I just want to let my stroke out. And I wind up being a little bit reckless in the game. You'll see, I'll explain it to you as we go. So my biggest influence when I was in my younger years, not that young, 7 years, we're talking teenage years, late teenage years, was Buddy Hall, and this is how I kind of saw him. as like, a 400-pound guy who's like the most gentle cat you ever met. Just kind of just gracefully just doing what he did, like a big fat ballerina. It just shocked me and amazed me that this is what it was all about. And he made it look so easy and graceful and perfect. So what you're seeing in this game was that, but he didn't have a real long stroke. He had a short stroke and a short bridge. But he would often move the cue ball in unpredictable, to me, at the point where I was in my pool development, is like, what is he doing? Why didn't he just... but it all made sense when I figured it out a little bit later in life, about why he went 3 rounds when he could have just went 1 round. Yeah, it all started adding up and clicking in my head. Let's get on with it. Here's the big break, which wasn't very big. It was actually a pretty bad break. And I accidentally drew the cue ball off the rack. The one ball hit the point of the side pocket on the left-hand side. The tangent line off the one ball, and this is with center ball, is going directly straight into the 5 ball, and it's going to knock the 5 ball down table up by the right hand corner pocket, bottom right hand corner pocket. This is the graph we have right here. And you want to see this 5 ball as the stopper. That's the job we're giving it, to stop the cue ball to be perfect on the 3 ball. So I'm expecting the cue ball to stop, which gives me perfect position on the 3, and the 4 ball's back up there on the left hand, on the top left hand corner pocket. So it should be a pretty gravy start if we can get started here. Yeah, the billiard wasn't a dead hit on the 5 ball, so it didn't exactly stop. It rolled down table a few inches, and this is the angle we have on the 3 ball in the side pocket. Now, I don't have to do this, but I actually spin the cue ball down to the bottom round with a hook and up toward the left-hand side rail in order to be able to shoot the 4 ball and just go 1 round over to the other right hand side of the table to make the 5 ball. Now, I didn't have to do that. I could have let the cue ball up at the top of the table, but I wanted to let my stroke out. And that resulted with flirting on getting snookered behind the 7 ball and not being able to shoot the 5 clearly. I'd have to kick at the 5. And that would have screwed up the whole run out. So I'm kind of flirting with danger here. And I'm not exactly freewheeling around this table, but I'm just being a little bit too loose. I need to tighten up a little bit here, but I don't get it through my head until I actually shoot the 5 ball. So here's where I end up on the 5, and there's absolutely no good reason to shoot it the way I shot it, because now I'm flirting with getting snookered behind the 8 ball and not being able to have a clear shot on the 6. All I had to do here was just shoot this really softly and just bounce off the round, end up right around where the rack is, in order to just bump the 6 ball in and get behind the 7 to this position right here. And from there, it would have been a simple out, but John's got to cut it loose, and that's what I do. And with the path of the cue ball, after shooting a 5, you can see I'm a little bit worried at this point, and I'm telling myself to get it together and get back in control of this game. So here's where we wind up on the 6, and I'm still trying to get that position a little bit above the rack and not exactly straight in, but a little bit of an angle on the 7. I come up a little bit short and have too much of an angle on the 7, and I should have shot it to go down table and back up on the 8, but I tried to do this and I ended up doing this to wind up like this on a really tough shot on the 8 ball to get to the 9. But yeah, I'm having fun, and that's what it's all about, right? Not quite. You're not really a ballerina, John. Let's get it together here. And then to top the whole game off, I wind up rattling the 9 ball. Yeah, because I'm parked on the rail, and we all know rail shots are always a little bit tough. And yeah, I rattled it. I rattled the second game 9 ball too. But hey, you know. So it all comes down to knowing when it's okay to let your stroke out and when it's not okay. And both of these games offer a lot of examples of both scenarios. So sometimes it's okay and sometimes it's not okay. You just have to know when it is and when it isn't.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Oh no,
Shut on the stage. Come on. You're gonna hang it up. Come on.
Why?
Because it's getting late.
We got 10 minutes.
It takes me a while to pack up.
Well, we still got 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, there's no way.
We could save it for next time.
They're not running another rack here. It's gonna take, a couple minutes. Now
mouth shut.